really just wanted to try it out again. I knew from my first podcast that I did many years ago, I wasn't ready for it. I knew that not often do you get second chances. And so I knew for me in coming back into this business that if I was going to do it, whenever I did it, that it had to be right and that I had to be committed. And so I always try to make sure I give you guys content that you're subscribed and checking out for. And again, I just want to say thank you to the Volume as a partner. Man, it's been absolutely amazing journey, and let's keep this thing going. But as I said, getting into Game 5, the Dubs took Game 5, and now it's time to go on the road and take one. In every series, you got to go win a road game, and we plan on doing that, and we haven't done that yet. So I'm excited about it. As a reminder, if you're watching this on the Bleacher Report app, don't forget to subscribe to the Volume's YouTube channel as well. As all of our episodes will not be there, but you will catch some of them, so lock in on both of them. And just shout out to the Bleacher Report family and the Volume family. For me, this is all kind of tying together. Obviously, Bleacher Report is part of the Turner family. The Volume is part of my family, so it's exciting, and I'm happy how it's all coming together. The Volume for me has been a absolutely great partner. When I started this podcast journey year and a half ago, looking forward to Game 6 and going out there and getting it done. Obviously, we all heard the news about AD. Also just recently heard that, he's expected to play tomorrow, which I'm happy about. You never want to play against a team not at their best, not at full strength. And also, as I spoke about last episode when I banged my head against the floor when me and Bron had the collision midair. Just don't play with those head injuries, man. They're serious. I saw a lot of people laughing and talk but it's a hit to the hips. I came out high energy, guns blazing, attacking from the gate. When you're facing elimination, you just got to leave it all out there on the table. And by the way, we're facing elimination again tomorrow, so we got to go out with not the same mindset, but an even better mindset because you're on the road. And the same mindset that works at home does not work on the road. So got to go in even with more dog, with more fight, with more focus. And that'll be the goal and that'll be the challenge for us, to extend this thing one more game and bring it back to the Bay for Game 7. Everybody loves Game 7. All hit to the head can change everything in your life. So I don't really understand the joke. I don't understand it at all. It's every time you step out on the basketball court, the football field, the hockey, on the ice, on the pitch, you're risking your life because one injury can change everything. We saw in not this past World Cup, but the World Cup before, Neymar have an injury to his back that almost paralyzed him. That was a couple centimeters away from paralyzing him. And so, I don't quite understand the laughing. Why that a guy gets hit in the head. Like, the smallest hit to the wrong part of the head can change your life. So I don't really understand that. But it's quite a few things I don't necessarily understand in this world that we live in. But as I said, I wanted to come out guns blazing with high energy. Finished the game with 20-10. Jackson said, man, I just got on this, logged in, and Jackson said, man, your first 20-10 game since 2019. I said, God damn, Jackson, I only played in one playoff run. I had one with the GOATs. And for me, when I saw that, not some crazy big deal, but for me, just to see that, it's like more motivation to keep going. I saw maybe a week and a half ago a triple-double playoff list, and I think I was right there ahead of Joker or maybe a little behind or ahead. But they're like Kevin Durant's in the playoffs. There are Jimmy Butler's in the playoffs. Joel, there's great players in the playoffs. And for me to be the only other guy on that list, Steph Curry's in the playoffs. For me to be the only guy on that list, you want to play your best. Also found out more news last night that LeBron James and I are the only two active players with 60-plus playoff double-doubles. And that one, that kind of took me back a little bit. Like, you know, anytime you're mentioned on a list with LeBron James, that's incredible. Like, we all know his resume. I was sitting with my wife last night, and she's like, "Oh man, that's dope. So 60 plus, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, Bron probably got 200 plus, but yeah, 60 plus, I'll take it." And it was, like I said, that's what you don't play the game for records, you don't play the game for accolades, but that is what you put the work in for. Like Steph had 27, 8, and 3. I saw someone say, man, it was a pretty quiet 27 or quiet game for Steph. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, it was definitely like not some crazy flurry. We're used to like Steph going on these crazy flurries. And it was just like steady the whole game, like pace, control, getting others involved, not turning the ball over. Like it was just controlled the whole game, and it was just marching you along. And I thought it was absolutely great. Absolutely incredible. An oxygen on the body, and we definitely didn't want to do that. And so it's great, for me to come out and have a good game. Wiggs, two-way Wiggs, came out with 25, 7 boards, 5 assists, and incredible defense on the other end. That was a point in the game where he started picking Bron up, like way out past half court. And someone asked me, like, do you like Wiggs picking up that high out? Like, why is he picking up Bron? And I said, that's the point. You just go with it. And so in that moment, he's like, forget that. I'm picking him up. And like, on one of those plays, I was able to get the block on AD behind, because when you got a guy that's doing that, that's putting that effort out there, regardless of what it is, when you have to be behind the play, ready to react. When he's picking up like that full, he has to know somebody got me covered if I get beat, because the reality putbacks and dunks and the legs coming back, and it's absolutely coming at a great time, because we need it not only, first off, to get back control of this series and win this series, but also moving forward. We know how important Wiggs is to everything we do, especially come playoff time. So that's huge. GP2, Gary Payton, man. Playing incredible basketball, plus 25 in 27 minutes. That is why you trade 5 second-round picks for Gary Payton II, to bring him back, to help you win a championship, because we know what a force, such a force that Bron is coming downhill. But the reality is there's so much space to give someone a run and start. For him to pick him up that way, like, he has to know, and you have to ensure that he knows, if I do that, someone has my back. And everybody had his back, and it was absolutely great. I think people tend to forget that's Wiggs' 12th game in 3.5 months. 2 years ago, in the next few months. Absolutely amazing competitor. And you got it honest. As we know, his pops is one of the greatest competitors, and growing up watching that, he took some of that and does it in a totally different way, right? Like, way more toned down than his pops, much quieter, it's much nicer in a sense. OGGP was an asshole at times, talking a bunch of cash. I loved it. One of the guys I have the utmost respect for. And so, it's good to see GP having the series that he's having. Especially after not playing a bunch early. You make those adjustments, and you need guys to step up. Like, you guarding LeBron James in the playoffs. He said, man, it's crazy. He said, that's my matchup. Like, I'm guarding him, he guarding me. And I said, that's incredible, man. Like, a couple years ago, you was in high school. You're guarding LeBron James, he's guarding you in the playoffs. That's incredible. Enjoy those moments. Keep doing what you're doing, playing hard the way you're playing, controlling what you can control. It's been giving us great minutes. Shout out to the young champion, Moses Moody. Clay did not had another rough shooting night, but his imprint was all over the game. Number one, whether he's having a rough shooting night, just what Klay does for your spacing, teams aren't going to help off him at all. And so opens the floor up regardless. And like I said, I would love to see them give him some imprint all over the game. He was really, really good defensively. And got into the paint a couple times, broke the defense down and kicked it out. Like, took 11 shots, by the way. Wasn't forcing anything, wasn't forcing shots. It was absolutely incredible. And at some point, he's going to have a big shooting night. And we know that. And we trust and we believe in that. Hopefully it's Game 6 Klay. That would be nice. But definitely looking forward to that. JP had a much better game last night, just more aggressive on both sides. You know, his shot still didn't fall at the rate we're accustomed to it falling at or at the rate that he wants it at, but you don't just come out of a slump guns blazing. You get it back step by step. And so seeing him as aggressive as he was, taking good shots last night, now you start to build on that. You start to see more shots fall, and I think that's huge. So it's great to see him looking more like himself last night. And I enjoyed that. I got a chance to see the great Matthew McConaughey after the game.